The Importance of Ancient China and the Terracotta Warriors. Discovered in 1974 by some farmers, these life-size terracotta figures were buried near the modern-day city of Xi'an. This left many archaeologists wondering why and how these terracotta warriors were built. So what are the terracotta warriors? These 7,000 life-size statues of soldiers made of terracotta were built under the order of Emperor Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of a unified China. Buried with these remarkable warriors were over 100 terracotta chariots and 600 terracotta horses. These amazing artifacts were excavated from 3 main pits. The terracotta warriors in the first pit were facing east to protect the emperor from his enemies in his afterlife. The second pit contained the statues of horses, chariots, and cavalrymen. The third pit was smaller, and it contained 1 grand terracotta chariot surrounded by the figures of 68 high-ranking officers. As the chariot seat was empty and the pit was closest to the emperor's burial chamber, historians believe that the chariot belonged to Emperor Qin. A 4th pit was found empty, and archaeologists think that this may have been unfinished because of the uprisings after the emperor's death. One of the most amazing things about these terracotta warriors is that each individual warrior had a different unique facial expressions and accessories. There were statues of actual soldiers fighting for Emperor Qin. Located nearby was the emperor's burial chamber. There are complete gardens and stables, bronze ritual vessels, jade jewelry, and a large number of silver ornaments and gold. It paints a picture of a very important and powerful king. These lifelike clay soldiers would need to have been fired with temperatures of 950 to 1050 degrees Celsius. When they were first made, they would have been carefully painted to look real, but over time the paint has faded. It is believed that more than 70,000 laborers helped construct these statues, and many of these laborers were later buried to the west of the emperor's tomb. Emperor Qin was such a perfectionist and was so paranoid that he made 2 blueprints for the plans for the tomb. One of the copies was for the workers to build the pits and tombs, and the other copy he kept in his palace to make sure that it wouldn't be altered. The walls of the pits were rammed with hard earth to make it last as long as possible, and the hallways were originally 3 meters high. To this day, it is still a mystery how so many detailed terracotta warriors were made in such a short period of time. Emperor Qin had actually ordered the making of the terracotta warriors during the Warring States, before he became the Emperor of China in 221 BC. But why was he so obsessed about creating this army? Emperor Qin was the first emperor of China, but to achieve that, he had to kill a lot of people to defeat all the other warring states. He believed that when he died, his dead enemies would seek revenge in the afterlife. So all these warriors, chariots, and horses were built to protect him from the spirits of his enemies. Until the terracotta warriors were discovered, the only information about the Qin dynasty were from written historical records, which sometimes sounded more like legends and stories. But discovering the terracotta warriors has been evidence that the Emperor Qin was really that ambitious and proud. It also tells us more about the army that helped him defeat the warring states. We now know more about the weapons, clothes, resources, and the engineering skills Chinese people had over 2,000 years ago. To this day, historians and archaeologists have only seen a fraction of what is actually the emperor's mausoleum. Imagine how much more about Emperor Qin and the beginning of China we could learn once we have access and see more of what Emperor Qin has left for us to discover.